AITA for ignoring my parents' feelings? The first words out of my father's mouth weren't hello, or how are you, or even I'm sorry. Instead, he snapped at me like I was still a kid cowering in the corner of his house. Elaine, how could you ignore your mother when she's in pain? What kind of daughter does that? I froze, my phone still in my hand. His voice was sharp, familiar, the same cutting edge I grew up with. My stomach twisted the way it always used to when he'd start yelling. I thought I'd left those feelings behind years ago, but in that moment, I was 16 again, bracing myself for the storm. I took a breath and told him calmly, Dad, I did not ignore her. I asked how she was doing. You told me the doctors handled it. I showed concern. That's more than you ever showed me. Silence. Then, the low growl in his voice. Don't you dare throw the past in my face right now. She fell. She's hurting. She needs her daughter. Something in me snapped. No, she needs a caretaker. She needs a nurse. She doesn't need me pretending like nothing ever happened. You don't get to rewrite history just because you're old and suddenly feeling regret. And then it hit me, the irony of it. The man who once told me I was too sensitive, who mocked me for crying after his outbursts, who slammed doors so hard I thought the hinges would break, now wanted sensitivity from me. Now he wanted kindness. I laughed, but it wasn't because anything was funny. It was bitter, hollow. You want me to rush to her side? Do you remember when I had pneumonia in high school and she told me to stop exaggerating? Do you remember when I cried myself to sleep because you told me I'd never be worth a damn if I couldn't get a perfect grade on a math test? Where were you then? His voice cracked, not in softness, but in anger. People change, Elaine. I've admitted I was wrong. What more do you want from us? I wanted the years back. The ones I lost sitting in my room afraid of every footstep in the hallway. The ones where I taught myself to stay quiet so I wouldn't trigger another explosion. The ones where my mother stood by, arms crossed, telling me that if I had just behaved, none of it would have happened. But I didn't say all of that. Instead, I said, you don't get to break me and then demand I fix you. That's not how this works. He hung up after that. No goodbye, no apology, just the sound of the line going dead. That fight was yesterday, but honestly, it feels like it's been going on for decades. I'm 46 years old now. I have a husband, Paul, who has stood by me for more than 20 years. My life with him is calm, supportive, the complete opposite of what I grew up with. And yet, every time my parents reach out, it drags me back into that old battlefield. My childhood wasn't loving. My father, Gerald, had a temper that could light up a room in seconds. It didn't matter what the offense was: spilled juice on the carpet, laughter that was too loud, a test score that wasn't perfect. His voice was his weapon. He'd get in my face, red with fury, spit flying as he told me I was worthless, stupid, lazy. He never raised his hand, but he didn't need to. His words cut deeper than any slap ever could. And my mother, Ruth, she was the silent accomplice. She stood by, never intervening, sometimes even piling on. If you had behaved better, she'd say, your father wouldn't be so angry. To this day, I don't know which was worse, his rage or her cold detachment. So I grew up teaching myself to survive. I applied to colleges on my own, packed up my things without a word from them, and worked every possible job to pay for my tuition. No one sent care packages. No one asked how I was doing. When I walked across the stage at graduation, they weren't in the crowd. I clapped for myself and kept walking. I built a life. I built it piece by piece, with no blueprint, no family support, just sheer determination. And I thought that would be enough. But now, decades later, my parents want something from me. My dad sends long messages about how he regrets the past, how he wishes he could go back and do it differently. My mom trails along with him, sometimes sounding apologetic, sometimes just needy. And the kicker? They never ask for forgiveness outright. They just act as if it's implied, as if their old age entitles them to it. And then came my mom's accident. A slip outside a cafe, a fractured wrist, nothing life-threatening, but enough to make her feel fragile. Enough for my dad to play the "we're old and we need you" card. He texted me the next day. I responded politely, asked how she was, and when he said the doctors had already handled it, I left it there. That was my boundary, but apparently it wasn't enough. Yesterday, he told me my mom cried, saying it felt like no one cared, and that my silence hurt the most. The irony was sharp. The same woman who told me I wasn't worth the trouble when I begged for comfort as a child now wanted me to prove that she mattered to me. And the truth? I don't feel it. I don't feel the care they're desperate for. I feel nothing but a heavy emptiness, like every ounce of emotion I had for them was drained long ago and never replenished. Now I'm stuck in this storm. Am I heartless for keeping my distance? Am I cruel for not pretending to care the way they want me to? Or is it fair for me to say no? No after a lifetime of humiliation, neglect, and loneliness they forced me to endure? Because deep down, I know what they want. They don't just want me to check in. They want me to erase the past, rewrite the story, pretend they were loving parents who deserve devotion in their old age. But I can't. I won't. The phone rang, and I saw it was my aunt. My stomach sank before I even answered. Something about the way her name appeared made my chest tighten, like opening a door to a room I wasn't ready to enter. Elaine, she said immediately, no greeting, just the weight of urgency. Your mother, she's been calling me. She's crying, saying you've abandoned her. Your father, he's pacing the house. He doesn't know what to do. He says you're being cold. Why are you like this? Can't you just let bygones be bygones? Family is family. The words hit me like a slap I wasn't ready for. Family is family. After everything, after decades of humiliation, indifference, and neglect, they thought that phrase could erase the past. I could feel my hands tighten into fists, my chest constricting. Let bygones be bygones. I snapped, my voice sharp despite trying to stay calm. Do you even hear yourself? For decades, family didn't protect me, didn't care about the damage done, didn't notice when I was crying at night or hiding bruises to avoid more punishment. And now you expect me to forgive and forget because what? Because they're old and fragile? Because I'm supposed to pretend all of that never happened? There was a long pause on the line. I could hear my aunt's quiet breathing. Then she spoke, almost whispering. Elaine, I know. I always knew. I saw it. I wanted to intervene. I wanted to stop him, but your mother begged me not to. She said it would only make things worse. I froze, stunned. My own mother, the one I thought might have been my shield, had silenced anyone who might have tried to protect me. You knew? I finally whispered, the anger bubbling but restrained, the betrayal burning in my chest. You knew what he did to me, and you let it happen? Yes, my aunt admitted softly. I'm sorry. I should have done more. I wish I had. But your mother, I didn't want to hear anymore. My chest felt tight, and for a moment I was that little girl again, trapped in her room, listening to doors slam, heart pounding, wondering if anyone would ever step in. I hung up, letting the phone clatter onto the table, and just sat in silence, staring at nothing. Not long after, my phone buzzed again. Another message from my father. His words were careful, deliberate. If you don't want a relationship with us, say it clearly. Don't make us wait around for you. I felt a flash of anger so sharp it made my teeth clench. Wait around? Wait around for what? For me to bow and pretend that all the years of fear, humiliation, and neglect never happened? For me to act like I owed them devotion just because they were aging? I typed a response in my head, then deleted it. There was nothing I could say that would make them understand without opening up a floodgate I wasn't sure I wanted to cross. I thought about all the times I had tried, years ago, as a young adult, reaching out in hope and getting nothing but condescension, lectures, or punishment. Nothing had changed. Why would it now? Then a memory surfaced. The night I got a B on a major test in high school. I remember the way he stood in the doorway, his face red, voice booming, telling me I would never amount to anything. My mother sat in the corner, her arms crossed, muttering that if I had just studied harder, I wouldn't have disappointed him. I remembered the shame, the tears I hid under my blanket, the hopelessness. That night had been one of countless nights that built a wall between me and them, brick by brick. And now they wanted me to erase all of that with a phone call or a message. They wanted my compliance, my forgiveness, my energy. And for the first time, I realized I didn't have to give it to them. I sat there, thinking about my husband, Paul, and the life we've built together. A life filled with understanding, kindness, and love. I thought about my own children, if I had them someday, and the lessons I would teach them about boundaries and self-respect. And I knew I couldn't let my parents' demands, their need for reassurance, drag me back into the past. I could feel my heartbeat slow, my breathing even out, a strange sense of relief washing over me. For the first time in decades, I didn't feel guilty, not a shred of it. Protecting my own heart, keeping myself safe, preserving my peace. That wasn't cruel. It was survival. It was freedom. I stared at the phone for a long time, thinking about calling them, explaining everything, unloading all the memories and anger I had held inside. But I knew that opening that door would only give them power again, and I wasn't willing to risk that. Instead, I set the phone aside. I made a cup of tea, sat on the couch with Paul's hand brushing mine, and felt a weight lift off my shoulders. I wasn't heartless. I wasn't cold. I was just done. Done trying to rewrite the past for people who had no intention of understanding it until it was convenient. Done pretending that the years of pain could be replaced by fleeting gestures. Done feeling like I had to explain why my love and concern were limited to the people who had actually earned it. And in that quiet, still moment, I finally understood. My peace was more important than their approval. My life, my choices, my boundaries, these were mine to protect. And for the first time, I felt like I truly could.
You are not Aita. You drew a line after a lifetime of disrespect, and that choice is grounded in self-preservation, not cruelty. People who inflicted years of wounds can't suddenly demand closeness without accountability, and expecting you to forget is manipulative. Protecting your sanity doesn't make you cold, it makes you healthy. My suggestion? Hold firm to boundaries like a gardener guarding roses. You're not uprooting your peace just because someone remembers they'd like flowers now. Insight: guilt often disguises itself as obligation, but freedom begins when you stop watering dead plants. Before we jump into the next story, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let us know your favorite part in the comments.
AITA for needing space during exam season? I didn't expect it to start with a fight, but it did. Yesterday evening, my phone lit up again, buzzing endlessly on my desk while I was hunched over my notes, highlighter in one hand, tissues in the other because I'm still coughing nonstop from this flu. I ignored it at first, thinking Theo would eventually understand, but the buzzing kept going. 5 missed calls, then 6, then a string of texts appearing one after another like a flood. Why aren't you answering? Are you mad at me? Do you even care anymore? My chest tightened. I wasn't trying to ignore him. I had formulas spread across my desk, sticky notes taped to the wall, and the weight of exams pressing down on me so hard I could barely breathe. I grabbed the phone, hands shaking, and finally answered. The moment I picked up, his voice hit me, sharp, almost accusing. So, you can pick up now? What? Am I not important enough until you decide I am? I blinked in silence, stunned, trying to collect my thoughts.
Tay, I'm sick.
I told you, I'm trying to study. I can't just drop everything every time my phone rings.
He scoffed.
Study, study, study. That's all I ever hear from you. Do you even realize how little we talk anymore? It feels like I don't even exist in your life. The words cut deeper than I expected. I pressed my fingers to my temples, fighting tears. That's not true. You know I care. These exams decide my future. I only have a few weeks. Please, just try to understand. But instead of softening, he doubled down. I think you're just using school as an excuse. Admit it. You don't want to spend time with me. You don't want to talk. You don't even want me anymore, do you? My throat burned, partly from the flu, and partly from the ache in my chest. How can you even say that after everything? I've been here for you for years, Theo. You know I love you, but right now I'm drowning. And instead of helping me breathe, you're pushing me under. There was silence on the line for a moment, then a low, bitter laugh.
Wow.
So now I'm the bad guy? Because I want my girlfriend to talk to me? Do you even hear yourself? That was it. Something in me snapped. I slammed my pen down, knocking over a glass of water on my desk, papers soaking instantly. Theo, I can't keep doing this. Every time I ask for space, you make me feel guilty. Every time I try to explain, you twist it like I don't love you. Do you even realize how unfair that is? My voice cracked, and suddenly I was crying, choking on my words. You say you're losing me, but the truth is, I'm losing myself trying to hold this together. He went quiet again. For a moment, I thought maybe he understood, but then he whispered, cold and almost resentful, if you really loved me, you'd make time. People make time for what they care about. I guess I finally see where I stand. And just like that, the call ended. He hung up. I sat there frozen, staring at the call-ended screen while tears blurred my vision. My chest ached. My notes were ruined from the spilled water, and I couldn't even breathe through the weight pressing down on me. I didn't even know if I was angry or heartbroken. Probably both. The night stretched on endlessly. He didn't text again, and neither did I. But I kept replaying his words in my head. If you really loved me, you'd make time. How do I explain to someone that love doesn't always mean availability? That caring doesn't erase exhaustion? That sometimes the truest act of love is letting someone focus on themselves? I didn't sleep at all. At 3 a.m., I was still awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering if I was in the wrong. Was I selfish for putting school before him? Was I cruel for not replying fast enough? Or was he the one who couldn't see past his own loneliness? This morning, I dragged myself to class, pale and dizzy, with only half my homework done. My teacher asked if I was okay, and I almost broke down right there. Because the truth is, I'm not okay. Not with exams. Not with the flu. Not with Theo making me feel like I'm failing him just by taking care of myself. I want to believe this is just a rough patch, that when exams are over we'll go back to being strong again. But a small, terrifying voice inside me keeps whispering that maybe this isn't just about school. Maybe Theo needs more than I can ever give. Maybe love isn't enough to fix the way he clings and the way I crumble under pressure. And now, I'm stuck in this unbearable space, loving him but resenting him, needing him but needing distance, wanting a future with him but scared that this fight might be the first crack that breaks us apart completely.
You are not Aita. You're balancing illness, academics, and pressure, while he's demanding attention like Wi-Fi that refuses to disconnect. Prioritizing your health and future doesn't equal neglect, it equals responsibility. Insight: relationships thrive on patience, not ultimatums. Suggestion: set firmer boundaries, because a partnership shouldn't feel like choosing between breathing and babysitting. Humor: if love were measured by missed calls, telemarketers would be soulmates. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Got a story to share? Drop it in the comments and let us know which one was your favorite. If you enjoyed this video, you'll definitely want to check out AITA for breaking up with my cheating boyfriend. Click here to watch it now.